Alright, so this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm installing a FITCAMX on my 2017 Volvo XC90 T6 Momentum. I already have a video on my channel on how to install this camera. In that video, I run the wire through the headliner because it's too short to run along the bottom trim. So if you just buy this kit and you want to install it, go watch that other video because it won't work if you try and run it through the bottom trim. The cable is too short. I'm posting this video for anybody who buys the camera and buys a longer cable and wants to run it through the bottom trim. I had shot all this footage that I took to install the wire and hopefully save yourself some time. Installing the front's really easy. The back should be easy too, but you gotta run the wire. All right, so it comes with this little pry bar tool. So you're just gonna take this little plastic piece off right here. Just two clips on the side. Gonna get in the middle, maybe pop it right off. You can kind of see there is 4 clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can pry right here and then right here, or just if you can get it in right there, pop the whole thing down and take this one piece of plastic off. Okay, so next you're gonna need to take your wire harness and the camera. We'll just install this front camera right now. So you can see there's this little green clip here. And you can see the matching green clip. All right, so we need to unclip this clip, and how that works is there's that little green bar right there, and that's what's holding it in. So you can kind of fit your pry tool in between and just kind of push it past, and it comes out pretty easy. And now you take your wire harness. You've got this green side and this green plug, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You plug right in there. Then you plug this side right in here, and that's all done. And then you can hook up your camera. You just connect this right here, but we're not going to do that. I'm sorry, this red one to here. And if you have just the front camera, once that's connected, you put all of this back in there and clip this in, and then you're all done. But I'm going to do the back camera, so I'm going to wait before I connect this because I'm going to have to pull off some more of this trim. But I just want to show you, in case you're only doing the front camera, that's all you have to do. You plug it in and then clip it all back together, turn the car on, and you're all set. You download the app and do all that. But for the back camera, we need to run the cable all the way around the trim down here. So we're going to start popping off a little bit more of this. Okay, just pop out the clips. This whole piece comes off. We're not going to take it all the way off. We're just getting it loose so we can run the cable. I got my cable here. It's really long, goes all the way over there. And I'm going to start in the front and work my way to the back, but you could also start at the back and work your way to the front, whatever's easier for you. I'm going to feed my cable through here. You could also take this whole plastic piece off, but the less trim I take off, the less I have to put back on. So just put it here so you have enough slack. You don't need to plug it in yet. And then just tuck it under the headliner all the way across to here. So it holds in place. All right, so I ended up taking this whole piece off, and I just want you guys to see how it clips on. There's 2 hooks at the, I guess you call it the back end, the side closer to you, and then these are just clips that go in. So you gotta get the hooks on first. I'm gonna do that right now. Just clips in just like that. Run your cable through the headliner. Okay, next you're gonna Pop off this little tab here. It says IC airbag. Use your little pry bar tool. Pop it open. Try not to scratch anything. Pops right out. There's a 8mm bolt in there. Gotta use a small ratchet. It's kind of a funny angle. You can do it by hand. To get this out, you can pop this whole part off. Just held in by clips. You don't need to take the whole thing off, but you can if you want to. You just need enough to get the wire under here. So pop open your glove box. Pry this off pretty easy. Now you can pull this piece of trim off. Alright, so I pried off this piece right here. That was right here. And how it clips on is there's a clip on the bottom and there's a hook on the top that goes through this piece right here. And so these two are connected. So it makes sense to unclip it from the bottom first and then just unhook it. And I ran my wire through here. There's some clips already, wire clips for all of the other wires that go through here. So just follow the same wires all the way down and then underneath, way past where the airbag stops. It passes underneath here and comes out right there. All right, so I put the column back on, I put the bolt back in, I put the cap back on. My cable's down here now. Now for this next part, I guess you can decide how you would want to do it. You can pull up all of this trim piece, get underneath there, and like fasten that cable however you want. But with these trim pieces off, this is loose enough that I can just tuck it underneath. That's what I'm gonna do. But if you want to go pull it all out, you can. I really don't like pulling trim pieces off if I don't have to, because if you break that clip, you know, it's hard to put that trim back on. You probably have to replace it. But that goes under pretty easy. All this extra, put it back here. Just like that. Now we're in the back seat. I'm gonna put this back together and then jump back there and keep going. Okay, so we're in the back seat now. I tucked my cable in all the way to this point right here. But as you can see, the back is gonna be a little different than the front. We can't just tuck the trim under because this is a solid piece of trim that tucks under the seat. What we're gonna do is pull this piece of trim off first. It should just pop right off. Right off. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. Now we're down here and you should be able to pull this piece of trim out. One more clip. There you go. This is connected by a wire. You can see it's held in by a bunch of clips. So we're gonna keep that plugged in. Never unplug a wire, you don't have to. Finish tucking this wire under here. All right, so I ran the wire underneath this plastic piece, through here, up through here, and now it's coming out over here. I'm gonna go into the back now. All right, so I'm in the trunk now. This is the wire right here. Seems like it's way too short, but we're gonna try anyway. This whole piece is one section held in by 3 bolts. An 8mm here, 8mm behind this, and an 8mm right there. So we're gonna pop those off, pop this whole section off, and this as well, and start there, and then we'll see if we can run the wire. through here and then up. But again, it's a little short.
All right, so let's pause here for a second. If you want to take this trim piece off, don't keep pulling at it like I'm doing. There is a plastic 10mm bolt holding it in place. Here's some footage from another video that I shot unrelated to this to show you where that 10mm is. You don't need to take it off. You could just fish the wire through the trim piece. But if you do want to take it off to make it a little easier, you can do that real easy. All right, pausing here again. This is about as far as I could get this cable to reach, the cable that came in the kit. If you have a longer cable, which hopefully you do if you're running this route, at this point you would just start running it through the headliner in the back, and then I'll show you the footage right now of how to finish the install.
Ignore this cable. This is for, I've got a little monitor for the car seat, so it's a different camera, it has nothing to do with this dash cam. Okay, so next we're gonna pull this trim piece off. Should just pop right off. Looks like it's two pieces. Probably just do the one side. It's one little piece. So pop that off. We're gonna mount the camera right here. I'm gonna route it through this pipe right here. So let's pull this boot off. Well, so we can maybe leave that boot on. Let's see if we can route it through without taking the boot off. All right, so I've got this kind of stiff, bendy wire here. I'm going to use this to try and fish it through. I think it'll be easier so I can kind of feel where the wire is and bend it as needed. That worked great. Okay. All right, so I got this stiff cable through pretty easy, and now I just taped it to a much thinner, more flexible cable. I'm just gonna try and fish this through. There's a pretty good amount of space in here, so I'm not worried about this big tape. I think it's gonna slide through, hopefully. Nice. Okay. Just gonna wrap this around here, just around the head. Are we gonna tape this down too? Nice and tight. Good. Pull this through. There you go. All the way through. Perfect. I guess just keep going with it. That worked out great. We're gonna pull a lot of the slack through. We're probably gonna store the slack in here. Alright, so to reconnect this like little boot seal, you have to pull this plastic piece out from up here. It took me a few minutes to figure it out, but you can kind of see it's held in by about 4 clips on all sides. You can't push in all 4 clips at the same time, but I was able to push this left one in using the pry bar tool, push it in, and it came down a little bit. Then I pushed the other side in and I got the whole thing out. And now you just have to get this seated back in here. Put it around, looks good. And push this back up. There you go. Perfect. Here we're gonna mount the camera. It says this side up. So maybe right there. If that's not good, I'll move it later. But try it there for now. All right, so that looks good. This is the cable for the rear camera. So rear camera goes to this. Rear camera, perfect. This one connects to this one. Good. Take all this extra wire, get it up in here. Okay. And then this will just clip right in. There's a little clip right there. Clip on the other side, clips up here. Line them all up. There you have it. Take the plastic off the front. Looks pretty good. Can't even really tell. Looks like it's part of the car. All right, so I'm in the driver's seat now. Got the camera all connected. I downloaded the FITCAMX app. I already connected my camera, but to connect it, you just hit the plus button, and then it's going to tell you to connect to the Wi-Fi for the camera. So it's called car cam, and then a bunch of numbers after that. So see that plus button. You connect to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi password by default is 12345678. Connect to it, and then it just automatically connects, and then you can live view it. There's my front camera, there's my back camera. Yeah, it works great. So it's doing this little weird flicker thing when I'm in live, but I checked the video and it doesn't do that. Doesn't record this weird issue that's happening right now. So as long as the recorded video is fine, that doesn't bother me so much, but it is a little annoying. And then one more thing, I ended up moving that back camera, so I'll show you where I moved it to. So originally I put the camera here because I was worried about the spoiler, but then after looking at it, the spoiler's not in the way at all. So I moved it back down, and then you kind of tilt it all the way down to get a good view. But you can kind of play around with that. One more thing worth noting, the camera comes with an SD card, so you don't need to buy one. You can buy a bigger SD card if you want. Let's see how big this one is. Comes with a FITCAM 128 gig. The one that I bought came with a 128 gig SD card. Bought it on Amazon. So that's a pretty good size SD card. And the last thing to kind of note about this is I originally had this FITCAMX installed on my Volvo. This one is just the front view, and I wanted to add rear view. So I was gonna just buy a rear view camera and hook it up to this, but I ended up just buying a whole new set. And now that I'm looking at this, I realize I couldn't add a rear view camera to this front view one because there's no extra wire for it. So if you have front view and you want to add rear view, you need to buy an entire new set of cameras. You can't just add the camera onto the existing front view. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.